Down, and Wayne Wiedemann featuring in the first of that. There's Jason Ziller at about 49 metres out. The little fella will pump it right up to the head of the square. Just a little bit of breeze fluttering across the front. Good mark, David Neiman. Just the ticket.
Now at this stage, Stephen, I don't think, apart from that kick in from Delaney, Port Adelaide have not touched the football.
Neiman, named in ruck, has opened it full forward.
And really approached that ball like he really meant it, David. He's, when on song, he can have a very big influence in a game.
So wouldn't this be a good start for the Eagles? And a much needed start as well. Neiman head down, kicks through the footy, no problem.
I think that's always good, Stephen, when a side can operate from a kick out in such a defensive manner like it was.
1-2. The Eagles like a mark as well up the front there. They work it out. The handball comes across the top to Colville. Straightens up, man running at him. Neiman was going to provide the protection, but they've got another one. Oh, gee, this is a good start.
Fighting for it, McClure dragged off it. Waite, cleverly done to Wilson. Binky goes charging at it, but getting it away was Bailey.
Played.
Oh, clever McClure to Pays. This is Colville. He's had 3 shots of goal in the opening 3 minutes, and that's another one. He's got his second, so Binky needs to tighten up. Colville is running amok down there. Down the throat of Ziller, who gets it out to Christensen, the St Mary's recruit. Goes through half forward off. Filippo's up, he's got it. So the confidence is flying high. Not too many guys fly over Figert in this manner, and Filippo did it pretty well.
And Neiman one out as best they can.
Neiman, front position, Delaney high over the top this time. Ziller roved it, snaps for goal. Is it touched off hands or is it a goal? The Eagles like it. And so does the goal umpire, and the field umpire gives the all clear, so Ziller gets his first. And the Eagles are 4-2, 7 minutes into the first term. Bayes, they're building from the centre line. Neiman one-hander again, he won't get away with that too often. Wiedemann through traffic, did well. Filippo cleverly, back to Neiman, shoots for goal. Around the corner, and Morfitt sits underneath it. Oh. But the ball's bounced unkindly. It's still in play. Morfitt works hard, taps it back, did pretty well. Oh, great work, Morfitt. And Kluzik hits the post from point-blank range.
That's who's getting some touches, short pass, had plenty of time, and Ziller should have taken it in the hand instead of letting it come to the chest. Still comes out to Colville and gets tripped right on the 50. So Gavin Colville, short pass, presenting himself as Ugrinik. Paul Northeast arrives too late. You probably should have held him up, Paul. Ugrinik has a look at them. Just nicely puts it through for his first.
You'd question whether that was holding the ball.
The ball actually ricocheted over the top of him and ended up on his back.
Well, then it wasn't holding the ball.
Dead right. Ugrinik. Around the corner. Filippo missed it. Figert dropped it too. Kluzek clever. Oh, Morfitt just puts it forward for Pays to run onto it. Evaded himself in the finish. I think he could have gone. Oh, what a goal. What a goal. That's a highlight. And Pays has kicked a few of them in his career. He just eats them.
Terrific. Thought he'd run offline. If the Eagles, conversely, can get a good start here, they'll give themselves a kick start. That's a push out as well.
I'm going to tip him to kick this, Stephen. I think he's just got a slight wind over his shoulder.
I'd ask you, Ken, while he kicks it. Perhaps we'll get into it after he kicks the kick.
Whether he's good enough. I don't reckon he can.
Whether he's good enough to be an AFL player, this fellow.
From right on 50. Ooh, it's close, isn't it? Nobody's getting too excited, though, so... Hang on, give me the scissors. I'll just cut this card up.
He's kicked 90-odd goals in one season and a very offensive player, but for him to be able to lay in tackles at this stage of the game is good signs for the Eagles.
Agree with you. Colville, Pays, here's another one. You're spot on, because what it's done is given them another crack at it, and Pays gets his second at the 7-minute mark. Speaking of excellent games, he's having a really good game, Jason Ziller.
Ziller's had Malacallis and McGuinness roving off the ball, and really Malacallis and McGuinness have had very little impact.
Yeah, Malacallis a little bit more this term, but McGuinness has been unsighted, as I say. There's Wiedemann's kick right up forward, and it's been taken by Bailey. The umpire's paid it.
Ability around the ground.
Well, he's got a very important kick here. Left leg, just walks it in, keeps it on line, and kicks a good one. He's first. The Eagle
in the umpiring stakes. And Delaney, lazy left footer. Kluzek cuts it off at half forward. Bends it around the corner. Pays was the target. Morfitt got there first. And Morf will kick for goal, 45 metres out. Not quite directly in front. Penetrating. 15 goals, 9 for the season so far. Makes the distance. What's the accuracy like? The goal umpire has a good look and he likes it. It's a goal to Morford, a ripper for the Eagles as we go into half-time. It's just what the doctor ordered.
You can't trust them to lie down and leave you alone. Big leap by Kluzak. Think he might have it. It's been paid. Now, if they get it up there quickly, they'll go one-on-one. Neiman is there. Short pass, though, is going to also be taken by Philippo.
Well, that was good vision, wasn't it? Neiman was the logical choice, and the Port Adelaide defenders headed off to cut off Neiman and just try and shut off the lead.
Philippo, very nonchalant. Doesn't matter. He gets his first, and that's a nice little stabiliser. At the 15-minute mark, it's 11-11 to 6-2. And he squeezes it out towards Daisy Borlase. His kick up to where Hodges is lurking, the big fella. Takes a tough couple of grabs. That's the best way to get back at it, isn't it?
That is a sensational grab. Tonight, I think there was about 5 Eagles there to 2 Port Adelaide players, and Hodges just had to make something out of nothing, just used his great ability.
Well, people will likely remember that in 1994 in the grand final, it's really having a go in there, some of those boys. In the 94 grand final in the last quarter, Big Scotty booted 5 on Jason Spear, who's just having his jumper ripped from him as you see him exit the screen on the left of the side there. And it was Scott who really finished off some great work, but kicking 5, you could almost say won the boot, had the game off the boot, his own boot.
And that's what it's about. Like, he really has his adrenaline up when we've seen him, I guess, respond to a free kick that he thought he should have been given before. He really did give the Eagles player a bit of a rough up, and that's what it's all about.
Surprising football. If the Eagles want to win this one, they're going to have to win it through attrition. Oh, cleverly done. Neiman to Bailey. The 2 ruckmen combined, and Bailey, what's he done? He's kicked it, so the Eagles have got off to a flying start in this final quarter. Just the start they would have wanted. I suspected for one moment that Bailey might have just missed. It's important. We're 12.5 minutes in as the ball goes to half forward. First man there is Pearce. He's been a terrific defender today. Chips it in short underneath this one, McClure. A greatly improved player as the season's gone on. He's starting to really emerge as a player. Sheehan missed the one-hander. Morford off the ground, chips it forward. Inboard Zilla, now Paisley your goal. Paisley has done it pretty well. Gets his set third.
To the ledger, like if you go 4-6, the psychological effect that it has on you. You stay 5-5 and you're a chance of, as I say, keeping ahead of the ledger. It's good for you.
Francis. That's it. It's all over. Not quite as much time as we expected, but it doesn't matter because at 13-13 to 10-10, the Eagles, having set up a very good game in the first quarter when they went away to 35-point leaders, have run out winners today by 21 points. Going directly into the ABC shop or making a telephone call right down there in the square. This is a good opportunity for the Eagles, but they're not going to score. Or are they? Oh, yes, they might, because Pesh is going to get a free kick, seemingly the way that umpire is gesticulating for holding on. So David Neiman from the goal square. Now, isn't that an important goal? And much to the delight of the Eagles fans, David Neiman belts it through. He gets his second, 1 in the second, now 1 in the third. And at the 13.5-minute mark, the Eagles get a little closer through their big full forward.
McIntosh, left foot into the centre of the ground. Waiting there is Cunningham, but intercepted Neiman. Neiman with the left foot, left hand. Flicks the ball to Colville, and Colville goes bang into the goal square where Morford is sitting on his own. Tremendous play by Morford.
237 games and a great club man for the Eagles.
He's kicked that goal, has Morford, the 5th one for the Eagles, and a very, very important goal.
Davey, who went off the ground earlier with what seemed to be a leg injury, but he's back okay now, pays around the body. They have found a bit extra, haven't they, the Eagles? Neiman to Zilla, and Jason puts it up within about 20 metres. They can take a mark there in business. Free kick anyway.
Really has been good, Scott Morford, since about halfway through the first quarter. His left foot kick is deemed by the goal umpire as true, and 6 points more go onto the board for the Eagles. His second goal, Scott Morford, 6 goals, 7. They have now kicked. Half forward flank. They compete for the ball. Tapped into space by Neiman. Leading the race to the ball is Cole. Oh, great pickup and tremendous goal. Running onto the ball is number 34 for the Eagles side, David Ugrinik, and they have hit the front.
What a good patch to pay. Now look at the big fella. Punches it his way. And Colville put the foot down, just took off from the pack. Decided the best method here was to kick it forward. Some great hands. And a good goal by David Ugritic.
Neiman have found an extra leg, the Eagles, on their home deck as Pays gets it forward right up to within about 35 or 40 metres as a player comes off the ground. Nails, who is it?
Just looking at down there, looks like it's number 20, the Lord boy, Roger James. It looks as though he's busted an arm, or possibly could be even worse than that, but the stage, he's got his arm in a sling. It's been held up. He's just gone straight down to the race.
Centre bounce clearance by the Eagles has seen the ball emerge with Bailey, who has been changing in ruck with Neiman all day. The left foot approach in a difficult Quagmire sees the ball carry for another snag for the Eagles. They go further ahead, 8 goals 7, 56, leading the Redlegs, 6 goals 8, 44.
A touch take, no good though, because Spear picks it up and puts it up to Zilla.
Zilla picks it up, flicks it into Sheldrick, who launches the ball into the goal, looking for the goal, and on his own is Ugritic, playing on centre wing, has run hard into the forward line, and now has a shot to put the Eagles well in front.
Be very impressed with their side today. They've come back from being well down. But another goal has been kicked, which it has.
Yes, Ugritic gets his second, and at the 12-minute mark of this last quarter, well, where are Norwood going to get it from?
Wardson half forward, Colville, it bounces over the back, spills back towards Colville, clever toe poke off the ground, and Filippo emerges with a footy. It's called play on, they're all on their own, he's been good. And we see the Eagles run into an open goal. Ugritic again has just been tremendous. His third goal puts the Eagles in a dominating position, it's on and off interchange, and is having a great duel with Bailey and Neiman.
This earlier, you would have seen a discussion with Bruce and a discussion about Bruce, and we felt that really his test of coaching has been right on the line as Spear puts it through. That's just about put the game without question beyond Norwood now. They get their 11th, but certainly Bruce Winter has had his coaching tested in 1995, and I guess he's feeling better about it this year.
Yes, he has. He's just got himself a good little combination with his side at the moment. He's got Bailey, who's come into the side this year, and also Colville, who's started to get a bit more experience.
And it's cold like this, and the game's over like this. You really, as a player, just want to get the heck out of there, don't you?
First into the hot showers.
If you can find one. That's it. Right on cue. The timekeeper, in fact, I'm not sure that it was full time, but he said, forget it, let's go. Let's get out of here because it's a bit cool. So 11-9 to 6-8 at 31 points. Ken, just give us a summary of how the Eagles worked their way back into it when they were 24 points down at quarter time. Well, the Eagles this time have the Hurricane at their back, an opportunity to get another half a dozen goals on the board themselves, and I'd imagine that that would be the minimum requirement for them. Wiedemann cannot. West Adelaide, can they score a couple against the breeze in just the way that the Eagles did? Zilla, watch this carry. Beautiful looking little pass right to Neiman, and David's gone to full forward. The pass came from Higgins, was excellent.
With Bannock, loose man in defence, but he's just impossible to cut off that type of disposal.
And this time Simpson does come off and Hall comes on. And David Neiman, well, he could probably handball it that far if he wanted to with this breeze. Wouldn't be advisable though. From about 40 metres, splits the middle.
Walsh playing today out of a back pocket. West Adelaide, he's played everywhere from wing to half forward to half back. Zilla through to centre half forward. Neiman off to Morford around the corner on the left. It's coming around. Well, what do you reckon? It's a goal. Gets his second. It's an important one, and Morford kicks the important goals for the Eagles, as he did last week when he got 7. And strolls away from defence.
To Pesh. The little legs working overtime. Into the middle it was Wiedemann. Now they're 3-on-1. Player and Andriski went across the top. There's a beautiful looking kick straight into the arms of Neiman. Wasn't that a great leg?
Great kick.
And it was great experience by Wiedemann.
Now can Neiman finish it off? 1-1 for the big bloke so far. He'll hit at it from right on the 50 line. Good looking leg. I think he's got it. He's applauding it himself. And the umpire puts up a couple of fingers as well, as does Ken Sheldon, to say he's got 2 goals. We don't get to see it, but he didn't really get his body online, did he, Pays? Just fired away, perhaps some perceived pressure there. Christensen, McClure, and again goes across the line, it's Pesh. Because the Eagles are working their way back, but they're still in command, 14 points for a moment, until Christensen punches the air and punches another one through. He gets his first, and the difference now is 8 points.
Comes Pays, claiming, threw it away. Higgins, Colville, Pays is running onto it again now, high ball. Who's back there for the Eagles? Morfitt. Left foot, goal. That's his third. An important one too. Brings them back within 2 points.
From equal terms. Squeezed out just again. The Eagles forward. They might put their noses in front, you know, before this is over. There's a little bit of time left. Bannock. Some desperate stakes in there now. Wiedemann looks to crash his way through. Was the tackle high? It was. Barrett jumped at him.
It's good coaching by Bruce Winter. He's opened up the forward line by making, in fact, sounds silly this, but a 7-man forward line he's operating, but it's actually opened up his forward line because it's forced Bannock out of the hole.
By using some width and some depth. And here's Pesh, 60 metres out from goal on the southern end.
Directly in front, do you reckon he could make the distance? He's not a bad little kick.
I don't know that I could part with any money for little Nicky from here with his 5th kick. Well, if he kicks it, he's going to put them in front. The siren's gone.
Have a go at a Torp, son.
Watch this. From 70, perhaps. Launches himself at it, and he's kicked it. Well, Mackay has backed him in. And right on half-time, Pesh has put the Eagles in front. What a great little kick-start for them in the second half.
Psychologically important to go in at half-time in front.
The first time in the game the Eagles are in front, and it's to the tune of 4 points on ABC Sport. The Eagles are 8-4. West Adelaide are 7-6. We're all set for a wonderful second half. It's Colville. Short pass. A good one to Higgins, who's played in the midfield all game so far and done so pretty well.
He has indeed. 8 kicks, 4 handballs. And he's got better. He started off pretty slowly.
Started on Bannock. Bannock was then used as a loose player in defence, and he's now on Dempsey, so he's having a real good role.
Higgins right up towards the full forward line, holding the man. Well, we said that goals against the Breeze are at a premium. There's a couple of goals against Neiman's name so far, both of them in the second term. The umpire reckons he was held.
No, can't agree with that one.
Oh, that's deadly, isn't it? That is deadly. Right in front of goals. It will not be a problem for Neiman. He's on the doorstep of 150 games. He's had 8 possessions so far.
I've seen him missed from here.
5 hit-outs. From about 15 metres out, he's just such a good kick. He's nailed that one through. 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And the Eagles extend their lead against the Breeze. David Neiman, such an important player for the Eagles.
The Eagles lead by 9 points.
And you can see there the sinister Hall incidents. There's been a number of them off screen also. Just the frustration, I guess, of West Adelaide really having kicked themselves out of that third quarter advantage. They kicked 6-6 in the first quarter and were kept goalless in that third quarter. That really is a poor return for the Bloods.
Well, the Eagles added 1 goal, won that term to 2 points. And look, you think it's willing. There's plenty of emotion out there. Scotty Simister's very frustrated. So the final term underway as umpire Richard Williams puts the ball to ground for the final term for one of these teams. Will it be West Adelaide? Will it be the Eagles? The Eagles lead by 9 points as Higgins brings the ball out of the midfield, goes to the vacant space at centre half forward. Kluzek roves it, bends it around the corner. It's not a bad start by the Eagles. Kluzek gets his first. We talked about his finishing, Ken. Well, that time he finished beautifully.
Left leg and bends it back okay. It won't be quite far enough. In fact, it bounces away from the goal now. Kluzek, still the ball is hot. Comes back. McCluckey lost feet. Couldn't make a play on it then. And Zilla got caught too high. So little Godzilla from 51 metres out launches himself at it. And doesn't he kick it nicely? To Pearce, and equally well done on the spoil by Godden. Effervescent little character, isn't he? Can't get that one though. That's all one-way traffic in there, Adam Pearce. You won't get around, but it was a good option to come back inside. The Zilla short pass with the ugliest kick you've ever seen, and Ben Higgins has got it.
Slowly, he was best and fairest in the reserves a couple of years ago, 6th in their reserves best and fairest last year. They've just nurtured him very slowly.
Higgins from 55 thumps it through for a goal. A fair bit of quality about this boy. Kicks his first. The Eagles extend their lead 10 minutes into the last term.
It's a second opportunity. Stolen away now by Pearce, who goes through half forward. Jason Ziller kept the ball in front of him. Higgins again feeds it off to Page. What's the finish like now? It's not bad. Page gets it through, gets his first.
19 kicks, 6 handballs. It's not a bad day out in the final. Wiedemann kicks it forward. The Eagles are starting to burn up the park now. Kluzek around the body to the head of the square in the danger zone. It's really dangerous because Neiman's got hold of it once more. And Adelaide, just too few to do the hard work, and you can't win finals like that. Simple a statement as it seems. Let's speak David Dunn. He's got it. Nails it through. Neiman gets his fourth, and 12 minutes into the final term, West Adelaide, well, they don't have the white flag out, but it's pretty difficult for them.
Crosley underneath it, missed it. Pearce goes right down the corridor, straight down the middle. Walsh set out underneath it. Oh, he didn't want to come back. And Ziller streams out marks, feeds off to Colville. Around the corner he goes, Neiman, body on body, got a push. Well, the umpire got hit, by the way. Hang on, the umpire's good enough.
Oh, well done,
Rick Williams. Yep. The umpire got a push in the back at the same time. Neiman got a push in the back, and Rick Williams went to ground. Now, let's see if we pick up the umpire, if we can, left of screen. No, but he got clobbered, got up and blew the whistle. Great umpiring. And if Neiman puts this through, I think Michael Taylor will know that his season's finished. And it is. That's his fifth. And good night, West Adelaide. They bow out as they did last year in the elimination final.
Precursor to the rest of what should be a finals feast, and a very exciting night on Tuesday night with the 96 McGarry medal. With you from 8:30.
Who's your favourite, Steve? You've asked everyone else. You haven't put yourself on the line.
Well, it might be a bit of a long shot because McIntosh and Giorgio will take votes, but I like John Cunningham, so...
well, we'll follow Christensen's kick as it comes around. It doesn't look a bad one off the boot. Oh, it's Dillon it was. It is Dillon. Dillon gets his first. He started on the interchange bench. And he likes it. It's been fantastic for them. Now, what about Bruce Winter? I think he's... Just put Benny Higgins to a back pocket. Oh, there we get the moves. I like that. Benny Higgins to a back pocket.
It's as easy as this coaching caper is.
It's a bit like putting James Hird to full back when the game's all over.
Can they match Norwood in 84 and go all the way?
Well, their centre bounce dominance has been particularly evident here today, and their structure has been good. And they've had this man, Morfitt, who's kicked free. He lines up for his fourth. He's had Neiman come into the side, who's bobbed up with 5 big ones for him today, responding in magnificent form. So they've certainly got the goal power, and as proven here today, they've got the centre bounce dominance.
42 goals for the season, highlighted by 7 last week against North Adelaide. And he said he wanted to have a hand in 5 goals. Well, he's got 4. And I'm sure he's had a hand in a few others. At him, Godden flicked it forward to himself. Christensen tried to steal it away. Higgins was clever, gets it out to Pays. And now look at this, Filippo. Great courage, got a hand to it, created the opening, flicks it off to Pesh. Well created, Michael Filippo. That's your goal. Pesh gets the finish, but Filippo's courage was unbelievable. And goals 10, he tells me, back in 1987. So the Eagles really have broken a terrifically long-standing record along the way. There's the ice packs on the ankle of Stevie Hall, Hamish Simpson rather, and Filippo.
So important that these players really do get themselves set for next week. So if Simpson has some problems, then why not give him the edge? The game basically is over. They will win and go through for the next final. So get your players in best shape you can, as quick as you can, early in the week.
Michael Filippo, 55 out, sets it up with the breeze. It's coming back. It's not a bad kick. It's through. Filippo gets his second. He's been a good player at centre half forward. His brother Sam couldn't take the field today, but this fellow's filled the breach and done it pretty well.
Along with a number of others, just for the work rate, the example for his fellow teammates.
Crosley and Ruck, down, Wiedemann, Christensen, over the head of Filippo. He could have had another mark. Streaming out was Bailey having a rest in the pocket. Morfitt, who's got 4, can he get his 5? He liked it.
He loves it. He got his 5, Scotty.
It's a pretty fair effort, isn't it? Got 7 last week, 5 this week. And the goals that he kicked were really, in the second quarter particularly, pivotal goals.
What I like about Scott Morford is the goals come from a total, like, different angles. Any foot, doesn't matter. He's just got so much skill toward the goal face. It is magnificent. You see that one there with an off break going to his advantage, but it was always going to bounce that way from the way that he's kicked the football to his final series.
And I don't think they're going to come out with any injuries today by the look of it either, as Higgins goes around the corner. The siren sounds. Well, that's it. It's a terrific win to the Eagles. They've just done it beautifully well.
A 65-point win to the Eagles, just magnificent. Responding from a first quarter blitz by West Adelaide. They come out of the blocks, West. They really did open up with all guns barrel. And they kicked 6 goals, but then responded to the Eagles, particularly through centre bounce dominance and the key factor, David Neiman at full forward.
The Eagles have got their first there, 1-4. That was an important one for the Eagles. Colville finished it off. Sturt 3-1. We're back to a 9-point ball game.
Well, there's some results that they needed for a lot of hard work done in this first quarter. The Eagles, they really have done well. Rep Bigland's tap there was outstanding to Colville. Into a space where there was nobody in front of Colville. He's got hold of it, roved it beautifully and kicked the goal. But really, that is reward for the Eagles' hard work. Their commitment, their tackling and their fierceness at the footy has been unquestionable, but just some of their work in finishing off hasn't been that flash.
How about White this afternoon? Even in the one-on-one contest, he's still coming out on top.
Pushes it back towards centre half forward. Big fly. Spiro Dozanis couldn't get through, but Colville picks it up, releases the handball over the top. 5 is Dillon around the corner. Timmy Geneva reckons he can go a bit, this young kid. He did the right thing then, put it in the square. Young releases the ball around the corner. Big snap was James, and he's got it. He's kicked it for the Eagles. A very important one, 14 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, they needed that. They needed to get the first goal, the Eagles, because they have been working very hard. And if you don't get the rewards on the scoreboard when you do the hard work, sometimes everything falls out from underneath you. But just at half forward, I was a bit worried. Rep Bigland's crashed into Pavlik, and I thought the guys' youthful exuberance there, just crashing into one another. But some good work by Dillon to get it to the top of the square, and then a great snap by James. So hand keep going down the flank.
McGregor turns it around the corner. Who's underneath this one? Geddes, 39 for the Eagles. To Scotty Matthews. The umpires picked up the free.
I didn't, but there was nothing in that.
I agree with you, fellas.
Well, you got to take the opportunity, don't you?
I think the umpire thought he might have grabbed him by the jumper, but the replay showed that he didn't. It was a difficult angle, and Matthews,
Good goal.
pops it through. An important one for the Eagles.
It was just body on body, having a bit of a bumping session, and all of a sudden the umpire blows his stupid whistle.
Well, let me take over. Shirley gave a long bomb out, and Matthews has marked it. He's kicked 1. He played 16 games last year for the Eagles, and I think if my memory serves me, he kicked 7 goals. So he didn't have a big impact on the scoreboard, but today he's already got 1. He's kicking for goal from 30 out. This is a crucial kick for the Eagles, and I think he's got it. So 7 for the season last year and 2 already today.
Well, Scott Matthews has really given something.
Down the throat of McGregor, who just roved it beautifully. Oh, good fly, Colville.
The Eagles with numbers will run across half forward. They need to give the ball across. Oh no, he's wasted. He's pirouetted around the player. Then couldn't get it. He should have been pinned there for holding the ball. The Eagles have a chance here. 25 is Holland. Holland will go over the top to Pavlik. Pavlik will go over the top to Dillon. What can Dillon do around his body? He better not waste this. I don't think he has. The Eagles are hitting back.
They're within 9 points.
Well, they have worked very, very hard for that goal. And their work rate this quarter, as like the first half, has always been there, but this time they're getting some rewards up forward for it. Just moving it a little quicker. Some great work by Chikalella. He overdid his work. He probably could have got done for holding the ball there, but great work by Colville as well, just to keep persisting, keep pushing the ball forward. And in the end, it paid off with some good work in the forward line. Good gives over the top. And Jason Dillon's left leg, I was a little bit worried about that. I thought he could have steadied up.
Height in their goal-to-goal line, Tim, as well.
They do. They've got a young, reasonably young spine, but it's a good spine.
And doing the job so far. Pavlich tried to flick it to the boundary to reset. Geddes was claimed. He got the handball away. Threadgold might just concede the point, I guess. No, he handballs it away, so it's a tight game. And he realises that every point's worthwhile saving. But Threadgold's kick was marked by Holland, who has been terrific today for the Eagles.
Great.
Holland
who only played 9 games for the year last year. Kicked a couple of goals. He hasn't got a great goal-kicking record. This will be one of his most important kicks for goal in his career, and he's nailed it. The confidence is sky high. The Eagles are back within 2 points.
Be jumping around like a final if they can beat Sturt today. Let's just see how Sturt settle down in this next 10 minutes.
To ground. Coming up is Johnny Richter, who's been fairly quiet this afternoon. The Eagles have a chance now. They're inside 50, coming around a Chickarelli. He puts it high. I think it's home for the Eagles. That's his first. The Eagles in front of the 18 of the Blaze. Come and congratulate little Chickarella.
It's great morale out there at the moment.
Let's
Don't write the double Blues off yet.
Well, I was just about to say,
Don't
let's
write
find
them
out
off.
about the double Blues. They've shown great character from this position before. The Eagles are pumping away, and it will take the double Blues best to get back into this match. They're only 6 points down. Bruin, who has been terrific with Rogers. They combine nicely to Pearce. Out it goes wide. Now it's Jason James. The 5th game for him. Colville, whose second half has been extraordinary. Towards Pavlich at centre forward. He's marked it. Very rarely Robinson's beaten. Very rarely is he beaten twice in a row.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, and he's hurt his ankle.
I saw Lindsay Heaven here today. I know he's a scout for Essendon. And I reckon he'd be looking at this kid. Geez, he landed on that nastily, didn't he?
And his knee, look how far his knee bent back.
Well, he's young and flexible because he's come up all right. Anybody else be in hospital.
Well, you're 6 points up. You've taken a big grab. You're 17. You'd kick this one with a broken ankle, Tim, wouldn't you? This is a big one. He's kicked 2 points so far in this match. And this is a team lifter, a confidence builder, and a reputation maker, all in one. And I think if there's a kid who can handle the pressure, he can do it because he stays over it. And the goal umpire has a good look and he's kicked it. Well, it's a great package, isn't it? 17 years of age and you can do that. Whelan's feeling the effects of laying a tackle just moments ago, and Rogers drifts down. Oh, that was scrubby work. Oh, the Eagle fans didn't like that. Bigland, good reach. 33 is Robert Shirley, stays over the top, it comes back. That was very clever, he left everyone standing. Now it's a high bomb, who wants it? Big fly. Oh, what a spectacular big grab.
Scotty Matthews.
Scotty Matthews has got it. He just took off into space. They send footballers into space every 2 minutes. I'd like to see that.
That was incredible.
That is the mark of the year. Name it now
Is
and
that
label it.
commitment?
Scotty Matthews.
Doesn't come any better than that, fellas. That is just the hairs in the back of your neck are standing up. The kick wasn't good. It finds Floriani. Floriani up towards centre half forward. Big Pavlik used the body beautifully, nudged him out, and took the mark.
Well, he needs to be as mature as he was with his last opportunity for goal when he kicked it, because it's a very important one in the shape of this game.
Oh, he just wriggles the body, just loosening the muscles up. Comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps on its way. Oh, a mature head on a very young shoulders is young Pavlik. That was a tremendous kick.
By Burton. We are 28.5 minutes as the seconds tick away. The ball is on the double Blues forward line and players congregate. Good experience by the Eagles. Lennon thumps it down. Loose ball falls. Floriani, gee, I love his game in this final quarter. And Dylan marks. The Eagles can slow it right down or explode into space. Off goes Colville. There's the target. He's got him if he wants him. Sitting wide. Ignored. The long option taken. I guess that's the Port Adelaide training, isn't it? A long one forward. The Eagles win this one by 2 points, and the Double Blues lose their second game in 5 days. Jubilation as the Eagles get up by 2 points at home, and that means, Tim, that the Double Blues have never won at Woodville Oval since the new Eagles were formed.
Well, they couldn't break the drought, could they, today? Just such a work rate. Incredible work rate by the Eagles today. Just from start to finish, they were determined to just hit in, persist all day, and it really has paid off. You see young Matthew Pavlik on the screen at the moment. What an outstanding talent that boy is. Look at Hall, Stephen Hall, very, very impressed with the win. I told you before, David, what would it do for their morale? Have a look at the boys.
And they've got Port Adelaide next week, Tim.
Well, they have at Alberton Oval, so they're going to be going into that game with a lot of confidence and a lot of morale from this game. Jason Dillon in the last seconds here, he was sort of criticising what he was doing. He was holding on, wasting time. That's what he was doing, and that was good maturity shown by such a young side. I was impressed with the double blues because they never really hit top gear, yet they were always in the game.
Mickey with the luxury to be able to pay Rick Biglands up forward, who spent the most of the year in the ruck.
That was a big clash between Sherwood.
So we have a look at that clash there. Two players met very heavily. Pearce and also Sherwood, and Sherwood has not moved as they're calling for the stretcher right now. They've had terrific years and just looking to gain that little bit of momentum, a little bit of ascendancy early in the game.
Ball bounced up poorly inside the 50 for the Eagles. It's Dillon. Dillon's kicked it high to the top of the square. Punched away by Gigney. Rode by Pavlik's left foot goal. Clarsak, the young man. That's his first goal, the Eagles first. They level the scores. Glenelg 1 goal straight 6. The Eagles 1 goal straight 6. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Mark Visca there just a bit overzealous there on the boundary line. Free kick going to Reddy Biglands, who made an excellent contest there. It was 3-on-1. He held the ball in the area and then just had the vision and the sense to square the ball up and gives Dillon a chance from about 20 metres out, dead in front.
They shouldn't have too much trouble with this. Normally a good kick for goal, Jason Dillon. That's no exception. Good leg, Jason Dillon. That's the Eagles' second. They move to 2-1-13. 5-point margin over the base, 1-2-8.
Right on the spot with the boundary umpire.
Gigney did everything right there, provided the contest, held his feet, got some advantage and got some yardage there, and the ball just trickled out of bounds and then kicked it out on the full.
Really tight on the boundary line as McGregor just puts it up. Any breezes there. Oh, Wiggins has come
Jeff
in.
Wiggins.
The only player that really wanted to be involved in that contest was Jeff Wiggins. Just presented himself, put the hands out, and took a good mark. And the umpire will bring him round.
Really has had an interesting year, Jeff Wiggins. He was second in the best and fairest in 1998. He was outstanding all year and really lost some form and some confidence earlier on when Rhett Biglands took over, but he's just started to come good now.
And Wiggins puts it on its way. Players go up behind the goals. Another goal to the Eagles. There's 3-1-19. The Tigers 3-5-23. Two bounces, left leg up forward. Big goal, he's been given a rest up at full forward. Corns has gone into ruck. Back here again, Rogers over the top now. 25 running through is Dutchy Holland with the long sleeve jumpers. Conditions are perfect here at Football Park. Dutchy, he's up. It's over the top of Hill. Good work by Primer. Terrific handball. This releases Dillon. Dillon from 15 metres out, directly in front. Should have brought the goal squared apart. I don't think he has. Oh, he has! That's his second. The Eagles get the first goal in the third quarter. Golding's back into ruck. He's got his breath back. And that big hit there. It's out of bounds on the full.
Bowed. And all of a sudden you just see that extra pressure, a few little mistakes that weren't there in the first half from Glenelg.
Colville from 50 unleashes the big one. At the back of the bag is Pyman. Oh, Pyman. He's come on.
Well, Mark Naley brought it up. He said, why wasn't he on earlier? I said that he'd have an immediate impact, and that's exactly what he's doing. He needs to go back and slot this one through. I think you'll find he'll just sneak out, probably give himself about 2 or 3 yards, and then bring the ball over his left shoulder.
Rob Bird, Pyman. Very disciplined in his approach. I think he might have snared this. The umpire will come in. The 2 fingers go up as a goal to Pyman. That's his first. The Eagles are back in this game.
Well, David, he's been a terrific player, not only today, but all year, and just his strength and his toughness.
Well, they've lost Sherwood and Raiders, so it's a pretty fair call you've made. Whelan had the kick smothered. Ugrinik comes back inboard. Clever handball to Floriani. He shoots for goal. It's back within 4 points. The Eagles are on a roll. Can Glenelg defend this?
Break up that balance of Glenelg defence, which has been so solid.
Holland pushes it forward, off hands again. Matthew Kluzak puts it to the point of the square. Good disciplined kick. Oh, free kick. And Grinnick was held. Lay on, said the umpire, as Gigney tried to dispatch a kick. Dillon claims him and takes him to ground. The ball is thumped wide. Chris Kluzak, slick handball. And Grinnick around the corner. Oh, Rouvray missed it. Visca creamed. Hyman got him. Jamison taken high by Matty Kluzak. What's the umpire saying?
He won't be.
I'll have a bounce. 44 plays 48, 17 and a half minutes into the third term, and umpire Kevin Chambers was not to be intimidated.
Couldn't do much better than that with the tackle. Perhaps didn't have a great deal of opportunity to get rid of it. That was a perfect tackle in the square.
Thump across, Matty Kluzak over the shoulder. Oh, he punches the air. There's Matthew Kluzak. That's only one side. He's kicked another major.
They're in front.
The boys are in front.
Fantastic. Well, you could almost call it a second effort in a different contest. Laid on a beautiful tackle in the goal square. Then got the reward for that effort by getting one out in the open. And he is an inspirational player. Has that ability to do that uncanny thing, and he's kicked an excellent goal over his shoulder.
Visca positions himself, heads to the outer side. Big Matty Golding. Biglands jumps him, rides him like a horse. Jumps inboard again. Quick hands by Pearce. Pearce to Kluzak. Kluzak inboard. Going back hard was Gigney. Not hard enough. Was again that man of the moment. Robert Hyman takes another mark inside 50. Directly in front.
I think if we're looking for a difference in the first half, this is it. I mean, he's just provided a contest coming up now. 6 marks in a quarter. Really needs to go back, just settle down and kick the goal.
Takes the deep breaths. Concentrates on the delivery now. Comes forward, 2, 3, 4 steps. Releases the football. Well, the Tigers' flags aren't waving. The Eagles' ones are. It's another goal. They're back in front. Jill this afternoon, 25 is Dutchy Holland. Can't quite pick this one up. In there again is Chiggy. Coming through hard as Whelan. Whelan will go across to McCartney. Gives it back to Holland. Holland faked the kick and looks up. Colville inside 50. Terrific build up there from the back line.
Kick a goal from 45.
Little Ginger holds the ball down. He's had an outstanding season of football. Puts it high. It's into the teeth of the breeze here. Jumpers are there. Kluzak, also Biglands. We're looking for a soccer off the ground. I think there was one there. We'll wait and see. Thank you. 2 fingers to go up. It's a goal. I'll have to see the replay. I think it might have been Dillon or Pyman.
Dillon off the ground, I think.
Ball's down. Higgins again. Rogers. Outstanding second half of football by the captain. Comes up again. Pavlik has been quiet. Just pushes the ball forward to Colville. An opportunity here. McCartney runs in from 55 metres and drills one home. McCartney from centre half back.
Well, he's been good all day, Nails, hasn't he? I mean, he's been terrific in defence along with Andrew Rogers there.
Ball moving, gives it across the car. Carr needs support through the midfield. Looks up, he's kicked to the biggest man on the field.
Oh! Mark of the year.
Easy. Straight over the top.
Handball's found plenty of the ball, and the Eagles are exploding. Now it's Chris Kluzak in front of Visca, and he'll steady the ship with a shot for goal.
It's got against him. It's going to be a tough kick, this one.
What have we got him down for? Chris Kluzak, 1 point, 20 goals, 13 for the year. Lobs it right in the square. It's a mark to Matty Kluzak. Brotherly love. And we said the next goal would win, and the Eagles have been able to just secure the important mark.
You reckon he saw him out the corner of his eye there?
No chance.
I think you're right. It was a bad kick, but Matthew Kluzak got himself into the right position, held a strong mark, and really has had a fantastic game since he's come on just before quarter time.
Kick number 19 for Matty Kluzak. He's got a goal, and this one takes the Eagles into the second semi-final against Port Adelaide next week. I don't know that Glenelg can recover. We're 24 and a half minutes in, and they trail by 10 points. They'll need to kick 2 very quick goals.
A couple of individuals that have really provided the spark. Robert Pyman in the third quarter, and Matthew Kluzak in particular in the last half. But it has been a fantastic team effort from them in the last half.
So the siren sounds, it's all over, 11 points. The Eagles have won, and they go into next week, second semi-final against Port Adelaide. They didn't defeat Glenelg through the regular season, but they've pulled something out of the hat to recover from 23 points down at half-time to win by 11 points. A stirring victory to the Eagles, and they go into next week's match against Port Adelaide, Paisy, with great confidence.
They certainly will. They're well and truly out of it in that first half. Glenelg provided all the run, and then we just saw the injury to Raiders and Sherwood that really upset the apple cart for Glenelg, who've relied so much on that running defence. And the Eagles came out after half-time, and they just played team footy. Mark Micken looks for about 3 or 4 important team rules that must be adhered to every time. Play in front, bring the ball to the front, centre it in the forward line, and then just run and create. And that's exactly what they did in that last half. And you can put it down to a number of players that provided the spark, but consistently in that last half, the majority of players really did just do their job and put their hand up.
You can see the disappointment. Glenelg have won, what, I think 7 out of their last 9, and they've been in tremendous form. The Eagles have won 5 out of 6, and Mark Micken would be pretty happy with that, as he's down on the boundary line with Michael Parsons.
Yes. And David Mackay said you'd be pretty happy with that. That was one hell of a fight back, mate.
Yeah, great effort. You know, I think we learned from the demons of the past that, you know, against Glenelg, that probably got us a couple of times, and we just kept banging away at it. We knew that at 3/4 time we had a bit of a chance, but we knew the game wasn't over. And I think that, you know, there's no greater quality than perseverance, and I think they showed just terrific perseverance today, and you know, a lot of maturity.
And speaking of maturity, some of your older guys may be on that half-back line in McCarthy, and your captain did a fantastic job.
They held up really strong. Very, very solid back there, and you know, the number of times the ball went in and then came straight back out.
Enormous high